Welcome back to Day Station Zebra, and today we're doing something a little bit different. It's Jocelyn, Rob, and our friend and Clicks cohort, Antonio. What say you?
Hello, hello, hello. It is your super sketch artist Antonio here, and I'm super excited to be talking with you, Jocelyn, and you, Rob. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're amazing as well, and we're happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Indeed.
And not just joining us, but also suggesting that we do this. So we
Yeah.
are here today with Antonio recording in the wild web virtual Discordy land, and
Indeed.
we're gonna chat about Collector's Trove.
I'm so excited. This set is
Indeed.
so exciting. So exciting.
Now, I don't think all the
Yes.
pieces are out yet. They haven't all been revealed yet, right? There's a couple still missing, but
There,
that's
I
okay.
think we're missing chases and maybe, maybe a super rare or two. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. What's that?
Okay.
Yep. I think it's chases right now that we're missing.
So we're not going to
Yeah,
talk about
Yeah.
the entire set, but we'll touch on some of the highlights, the things that we like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting, this set, because we've got, for the first time that I'm aware of, like since I started playing, there's 12 boosters instead of 10 in a brick.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's going to be I think they're going to try that format out for at least another set or two to see how it sticks. I know for sure Spider-Man, Spider-Verse is definitely 12 boosters. And I think the Lantern set is supposed to be 12 boosters. I think Spidey, Smash and Destroy, and the Lanterns are all supposed to be 12 boosters. So let's see what happens.
Okay.
yeah, so I've got the little solicit up here if I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
read that from WizKids, just to sort of get us in the mood to talk about Collector's Trove.
Mm-hmm.
It says the Collector is one of the most dangerous villains in the Marvel Universe. Confront him with your heroes and their strongest equipment, or embrace the power of his horde for yourself. Collector's Trove packs more value into every brick than normally possible by having more chase figures, items, and surprises in 12 boosters. Collect some of the coolest and most powerful equipment from your favorite comics like Mjolnir, the Cosmic Cube, the Bloodstone, the Crimson Gem of Sidorak, and more. Discover new ways to cover your team's weaknesses and bolster their strengths. Build an awesome team of thieves with support from the Gambit and the Thieves Guild. Plan a heist with Ant-Man security solutions. Assemble an army of Iron Man's armors. Challenge the Collector in space with the Guardians of the Galaxy. You can't help but add this booster brick to your collection. Add a burst of potency to your team with all new one-shot cards. And then it says lucky players will even have the chance to add heroes and villains wielding the Infinity Gauntlet or the Darkhold to their collection. So that's pretty
Okay.
cool.
So
That is pretty cool.
what I've done here is we're going to talk about this set, and I've got the hcunits.net up on the screen here. And so we can look at all the figures that have been revealed so far, and also,
Mm-hmm.
of course, equipment and the one-shot cards. And some legacies, I think, right? There are some legacies,
So
possibly.
so far, the CUR SR has been shown so far. So every dial from the CUR and SR have been shown so far except for Super Rare Prime Juggerduck. He hasn't been
Right.
shown.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the sculpt though, because he's in
We've
some
seen
of
this.
the list of images.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And we have not seen. I think there's only from where it. The weird thing about this set is I think there's less than actually 50 figures in the actual full set. From uncommon all the way to ultra chase. We know from the Scott Porter unboxings at the top of the box is the what I expect to be the ultra chase collector, like in his monstrous kind of form. They have that picture at the top, which we haven't seen, of course, but I think he's going to be the last figure of the set. But overall, there's less than 50 figures totally that can come out of a booster in this set, which is a little bit
Okay.
different than what we're kind of used to, you know?
Interesting. Yeah.
Especially with 12 boosters instead of 10.
Yeah. Um, it's it's a little bit it's different. It's different. I was expecting more of a like a mega set, kind of like how Notorious was, or just jam
Mhm.
packed full of stuff. And I hope that if that's what they're going to do, if they're going to stick with the 12 booster model, I hope that they actually do that. Just stock the whole thing full of stuff. But as it stands, we have what it looks to be one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We have 7 generics in the common slots, which in my opinion is not a bad thing. If you, especially if you open up a bunch of boosters, having generics that can you can team build with and things of that nature is actually pretty good. Especially some of these ones that we've seen, like the Swarm of Ants is one of my favorites. Even the Kree Accusers or the Iron Man Sentries. I'm an Iron Man lover, so the Iron Man Sentries are fun. And then the Kree Soldiers, even the Shield guys that switch to Hydra. Um, what do y'all think about that being a thing? Like instead of giving us an AB dial, we have these kind of traits that allow people to switch from one dial to switch to another dial altogether. How do y'all feel about that?
I think it's neat. I think it's a neat mechanic.
Mhm.
So we're referring to Shield Agent 007.
Yeah, Shield. The Shield agent
Yeah.
does it as well as the Kree soldier also does it. He does it as well, which I love the Kree soldier because it shows that they're scrolls. My friend and I always say there should be a scroll in every set because scrolls are everywhere and you never know who a scroll is. So you always can put a
Yeah,
scroll.
I like that idea.
I love I love evasion powers. Yeah, I love shape change and super senses in the game. So these scroll guys or these Kree guys are going to be great, especially if you have one of the Kree guys that bumps up their damage. With the Kree Accuser, who's the another generic, she has the 1,000 years of Kree vengeance, which at the beginning of the game you choose a keyword, and which is great and just constructed, but especially like in Seal 2 because you're going to have a lot of the same characters that have the same keywords, and the unique modifier is friendly characters with the Kree keyword get a +1 on their attack and damage when attacking that keyword. And that's map wide. It's not like within 4 or anything like that. So getting a +1 damage and attack against, say some of these characters. A lot of these characters have cosmic or something like that. That's pretty big, as a matter of fact, I think.
So going back to Shield Agent, it's interesting. It has both Hydra and Shield team abilities.
Yeah.
You're getting this agent for 20 points, starting him on click 1, and the trait says Hail Hydra. Once per game for all friendly characters with this trait, at the beginning of your turn, you may turn all friendly 007 Shield agents to click number 6. If you do after resolutions, one of them may make a closer range attack. So even if this agent takes a hit and is damaged but not KO'd, you can go to click 6 if you choose, and then make an attack, right?
And
I
make
think
an attack
that's
and get
yeah.
life too.
I think that's
And
pretty
get life.
powerful for a 20-point figure. That's some good value.
Yeah, and I mean that's a choice. You get to choose that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you to your point, Rob, if you've maybe taken a hit of damage or something like that, depending on where you're at, you're either going to end up on Pulse Wave or you're going to end up on Poison. And if you just flip dials and you haven't moved, then poison to your heart's content, my friend. You have
Yeah,
not been moved or placed. You have just been changed on your dial and you can now poison your friends.
yeah,
So,
that's
I think
pretty
that's the
good.
joy of this mechanic is you can essentially take some damage. And like you were just saying, Jocelyn, you get to choose. So you can choose to stay that enhancement kind of supporty, like I can just ping you for one piece, or you can switch into, like you said, that lockdown. I'm poisoning you. 17 combat reflexes especially in a sealed way, is going to be really good and give an enhancement depending on how the game is now going. I absolutely love that. It's the choice that does that, and then being able to turn and then make an attack while having shield, while having Hydra, so you can bump up range and bump down an opponent's defense all in one shot for 20 points. And while giving +1, this piece could essentially bump down defense and bump up range and bump up damage twice,
mhm.
Yeah,
all by itself for 20 points. That's
it's pretty good.
amazing.
It totally is.
It's really making me think differently about the pulp format.
Oh
right?
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of what has been played in pulp up until this point has been a lot of rares, right? But now we've got this common, like set number 7, who has all of this flexibility in their team building for 20 points. Like it's just, I think they're really looking at that format pulp as, your common, uncommon, and rares as something that you can do something more interesting with. And this is not, I mean, I would say Shield Agent is a generic, but Shield Agent is not an entry level figure, right? Like
No,
you need to know
definitely not.
some HeroClix to figure
Yeah,
out exactly how to use Shield
Utilize it.
Agents to the effect that they need to be used at, right?
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I can already see
Mm-hmm.
the possibilities with this thing. I mean, on click 6, it's got plasticity and combat reflexes. So that's a good tie-up piece right there. You could just bring that
So
in, on say on click 1, turn them to click 6 as a choice, and you're getting an attack out of them. That's pretty good.
so good.
And it's not
Yeah,
a free attack, it's an instruction.
it's an
So you don't have to
instruction.
worry
Yeah,
about that pesky Beetlejuice that's out there, right?
Oh my
amazing.
god. You know, God. So it's good that I'm glad that you were talking about Hulk, Jocelyn, because we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Literally,
Yep.
his name is Thanos,
Okay,
and
let's
he's a
talk
big
about him.
boy.
Yeah.
He Thanos is a big boy, and it's been a long time since we've seen a character this strong, not only strong but this expensive in the common slot. So to see a 300-point figure, this harkens back to the old days of the like Superman set and the Iron Man set, where the 001 would be whoever the marquee figure was, and it would be a super expensive version of that character. 300-point Superman, 300-point Iron Man. So seeing this 300-point Thanos, and I'm a Thanos lover, and Infinity Gauntlet was my favorite story coming into reading comics as a kid. So to see him like in all of his glory, and to know that this is a colossal, it's not just that he's small, but this is a colossal piece in a common slot that is 300 points. Yeah, he has a smaller dial, but why would you ever want to play him at 150 when you can just run him up with 14 5 with a 20 defense?
Invincible and cosmic.
Oh my gosh. And
So
what he does, that trait, the trace that he has, that the astral regulator trait, which is free, choose a character on your sideline with a cosmic or deity keyword and choose a standard power printed on their card. Thanos can use the chosen power until your next turn. In a sealed event, just in sealed event, you're gonna pull someone else who has cosmic when this set is full of cosmic people. So you pull, let's just say you pull another Thanos in your other booster. Now you have
Yeah.
access to all of Thanos's powers anytime you need them on his dial, which is insanity. I cannot wait. And his other trait, which I absolutely love, which is the Reap trait. When Thanos
Yeah.
KOs an opposing character of 30 points or less, score 10 victory points. OMG! We just got Black Panther a few weeks ago, and knowing that Black Panther gave us tons of bystanders, knowing that bystanders are a big thing in the chase boosters, this set, I mean, this trait is going to be massive going forward. Knowing that characters like Butterfly and other characters that are in sets that make bystanders for free are just out there, and it used to be you can just run them up and who cares if they die or not. Now giving away points, 10 points, as we all have seen, 10 points can win or lose you the game.
Absolutely.
mhm.
I do
And
like
I
that
just
we're
did.
seeing this in the latest sets, like this set and Black Panther. We're starting to see these things where if you KO a character with a certain keyword or a certain point value, you score an extra 10 victory points. And like you said,
I love it.
Antonio, if you are selecting powers off a sideline figure with Thanos, if something has Pulse Wave and you Pulse Wave a bunch of bystanders away, that's a lot of points that you can get right there. It's reaping points. So go
Massive.
ahead,
It's
go ahead,
massive.
Jocelyn. You were going to say something.
I was just going to say I did a quick search, and by the way, shout out to Clay Wood for hcunits.net because he
Word.
is
Absolutely. Yep.
amazing.
The
Um,
good.
of what we've seen of Collector's Trove so far, there are 14 figures in the set that have the cosmic keyword,
Amazing.
including that Thanos. And then if we look at deity, we see one, two, three, four, five. again, including that Thanos. So, I mean, if you go outside of that, like I'm just thinking of constructed just generally, and I'm a big fan of Poseidon, which has the deity keyword. So
Right.
you could just throw Poseidon on your sideline, who has a sideline active effect, and also pull powers off of it, right? Like Quake.
Like Quake. Like Jocelyn used Poseidon against me in Team Worlds this year, and that was I was running. I was literally running away from Poseidon because she was just flooding the map with Poseidon. He was so good.
We've talked in the past off, not on this video, but in the past, Antonio, but my dice were doing the good things when it came to those single D6 rolls to get me all
They,
that water with
they
Poseidon.
were rolling so high. I was like, "What is cool?" You just at one point in time, Jocelyn stopped making water because the map was just flooded already. She's like, "I don't even got to put water anymore. It's just."
I ran out of water to generate. There was no more places to put it. It was
It was
crazy.
great. It was great. It
So
was great. It was
I love
great.
that figure, and I love Poseidon, and there's a deity that you could put on your sideline, not in pulp, but
Yeah.
in constructed anyway. So
I
there
mean,
he is.
again, you can put that Thanos over there on the sideline and he'll work. He's a deity.
Yeah.
So
When we played in the Rock event, just the provincials here, I gave Jocelyn a Ziploc bag full of water tokens to use. She's like, "You got any extra water tokens?"
I love it.
Oh yeah, I got tons of them.
Yeah, I was
love it.
playing Poseidon in provincials. So
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. He's a great
yeah.
piece.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
great
amazing.
piece. Yeah. So another piece that I'm excited to see how they're going to do, not only in sealed but going forward, is the Adaptoid.
Okay, yeah.
Um, so there's two ways to get Adaptoid, either by playing him on your force or through the very next set in the very next figure in the set, which is Monica Rappaccini. She's number 14. He's number 13. Monica makes the Adaptoids, and she can bring them into the game based on KOs and things of that nature with a power action. But what the Adaptoid does is when it just by itself, it says when Adaptoid KOs an opposing character, instead of removing that character from the game, you may turn that character to any click and place it on Adaptoid's card. That character is still scored, because that's important to say, since it says don't remove them from the game. Adaptoid can use the standard powers displayed on the dial of the last character placed on their card. Again, amazing. I think them having charge precision strike with the two, it doesn't seem like much until you let it get the final hit on somebody, and then now it can now automatically turn into some kind of monstrous character. And when you hit it, it eventually goes up to 11 attack, 3 damage, on top of whatever with shape change, on top of whatever powers that you actually have that are on the card from the character that you KO'd. I think this is a sneaky good figure that you will see in, like you said, in Pulp. I think these guys are going to pop up, because why wouldn't you then want to have? I mean, again, there's so many characters in Pulp you can KO that they can then copy and almost flood the map with too. Like I cannot wait to feel. I'm a lover of figures like this that take a more. We were talking about Thanos, or talking about the Shield guys and how it takes a level of knowledge to play. I love pieces like this that take a little bit of finesse to play.
Yeah, I like it. And I'm going to go back to Monica Rappaccini just to take a look at what she says. Power of opposing character was KO'd since your last turn. Generate a number 13 adapter and click 1. Okay. After resolutions, you may choose an opposing character that was added to your opponent's KO area since your last turn. Turn that character any click and place it on the generated Adaptoids card. Okay. Interesting. And there's no max on that. You can just keep generating.
And it says an opposing character, right? It doesn't say an opposing standard character, and it doesn't give a point value. So again, give me your butterflies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just crank out these Adaptoids. Let's go. Let's just go now.
Bystanders, yeah. You're just putting bystanders on Adaptoid cards. That's amazing.
I mean, the ace bystander that people use, they use that because it has outwit and super senses and stealth. Well, okay, now I just made this. I KO'd your character, and I just made my Adaptoid into your ace now. Thank you for packing the outwit for me. I appreciate it. That's amazing.
Interesting.
And I love keyword cheating as well. So Monica is a scientist, and I've been building. I don't know if y'all enjoy that as well, but I love the Wakanda Forever LE monthly OP kit. It has that Shuri and it has that Captain America in it that can keyword cheat soldier or scientist onto Wakanda teams. So she is going to go on a Wakanda team because she is a scientist, and the Adaptoid is a spy that can be keyword cheated through Okoye. She makes spies into Wakandans as well. So more keyword cheating for me. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to play these two figures for sure.
Is that one in HC units? You said it was a Shuri unit?
It's Shuri. It's Shuri. It's Captain America and it's Black Panther that came in there. Yes, they are. I think if you look up Wakanda, you just got to scroll down a little bit because the way they do the LEs is just a little bit weird.
Okay.
They don't. You got to scroll through them a little bit. But you'll eventually find it. And the Shuri works well with the Black Panther too because she gives him two powers. Essentially, she has a team up card that if she's on a team with Black Panther, through a trait that she has, she gets to pick between 4 powers, and whatever 2 powers she didn't choose, Black Panther gets the other 2. So you could give Black Panther Invuln and Close Combat Expert or Shape Change or I think Flight. It's so good.
Oh, here
I
it
love
is.
I love stuff like that.
When establishing theme teams, other friendly characters with the scientist keyword gain the Wakanda keyword. Very nice.
Yeah, I don't think we have access to that OP kit here.
No, have not seen that one yet. Very
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask one of the venues that I play if he has any extras laying around to see if we can work that out for y'all because I think those figures are. I honestly think those figures are worth having. They really are. I think those figures.
Yeah, there's been a few things up here because for those that don't know, Rob and I are from Canada that we can't always get up here. Usually we get most of the things that the United States gets, and we usually get it around the same time, Black Panther notwithstanding. But yeah, some of the OPs have been harder to come by. So,
word. That's good to know. I'm glad I mentioned it. Like I said, I'll ask one of the guys that runs the shop. I know the guy. I'm living in New Jersey now, and one of the shops. I have a venue that I run games at called Saga Concepts, but one of the other main places I play is called Highlander Games. And I know the owner Scott is a great guy, so I'm gonna ask him if he has a spare one, and see if we can get that out to y'all. You know.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Indeed. Another piece that I think is going to see lots and lots and lots of play is number 19 Mantis.
Okay.
She's an uncommon, and she's 25 points of probability control and super senses and precision strike.
You know, I like it when they do something cool with Mantis. There was a Mantis in what was it, Avengers Forever? Maybe. Is that the one?
Or maybe Avengers Infinity, the one that turns off Battle Fury.
No, I was definitely thinking of Avengers Forever. Avengers Infinity was before my time.
Oh, okay.
But she rallied for 2s, friendly attack rolls, and when you removed a rally die from her, she would remove an action token from a friendly character within range and line of fire.
That's really good.
She had Perplex and Super Senses and Incap, and then she moved into Mind Control, Precision Strike, and Super Senses. So she was 25 points. I really liked that set. A lot of people poo-pooed on that one, but I was a big fan.
Yeah. So, they're going to do that sometimes, but I do love some Mantis. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, so let's go back to this one.
Yeah, 25 points and you get prob. That's pretty good. And Mind Control Sidestep. Oh, no, sorry, that's on top dial.
That's on top dial.
Mind Control.
But Sidestep, Precision Strike, Super Senses, prob for 25 points is still a pretty good thing. And then if you, like in Sealed, I could definitely see playing her at 50 points if you had another source of prob, because Mind Control Sidestep with Close Combat Expert, 3 targets. You've got an in-cap there, combat reflexes. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with that.
A lot. Yep. A whole lot.
Yeah.
And she has Cosmic.
And she has Cosmic?
Keyword. She has cosmic
keyword, yeah.
keyword.
And Guardians TA. But I also love the sculpt. I love her face and the expression she's making. They did some interesting things with the sculpts in this set.
Her having cosmic keyword again gives her access to Thanos, or gives Thanos access to her.
Yeah.
And being able to essentially have prob for that 14 attack that he has, just so now he can make sure he has probability control, which is insane. Or combat reflexes with now to make it a 22 when he runs up on you. Or any of the things that, or close combat expert to make him hit for 6 damage on his 15 for 6. That's it's gonna be so it's gonna be so much fun.
I always say the higher my attack value is, the more I need prob, because that's when my dice roll worse. So like, you need like a 4 and you're rolling 3s and 2s. You're crit missing and things like that. That's where you need your prob for.
I agree. I really agree. I agree.
I was looking at that giant man. Looks kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
What, the rare?
Number 28.
Yeah, number 28, the rare. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
So I like the trait, the Ant-Man security solutions. Opposing characters within 4 squares can't pick up or equip terrain markers and can't be given capital close or capital range terrain actions. I like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it's a bunch of figures in this set that have that trait. So even one of the legacy cards actually has this trait as well. Machine Smith, which is one of the 7 pieces, since there was only 7 legacy figures this time, which I like. I like that it wasn't a whole bunch, but he definitely has that trait as well. So that's going to be interesting in play. I can't wait to see what happens, because terrain is going to be a big thing, especially in the Smash and Destroy set that's coming out next year. That's going to be really big. So hindering that for people will be huge, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And then the other thing I like about the giant man here is the that special attack power, the giant toss, telekinesis, but only to target an adjacent or terrain marker. The target doesn't need line of fire to the chosen square.
Old school TK.
I guess that's like the trying to demonstrate, he's picking you up and putting you somewhere.
Old school TK used to be that way, where you could hide the person behind you and then just TK catapult them forward. TK used to be 8 range, so you could just TK them forward, and they didn't have to see. Jean Grey doesn't have to see where she's moving. Wolverine, she just needs to see. But they changed it for gameplay purposes.
Yeah, and I think 45 points with that lower point dial with the sidestep and the TK to start is definitely a great dial to look at. And also giant as far as size goes. So the figure, I think, is a standard base size, but it's got the giant symbol, so you're getting that colossal willpower roll and all the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about Beta Ray Bill? I want to get your opinions on that, because when this was revealed at Memphis, I thought this could be a figure we're going to see a lot of, with that special damage power called I Look at the Heavens and Think Them Empty, which grants leadership, which is, it's fine, but the second part is characters can't use the cosmic team ability. What do we think of that?
So let me ask y'all this, right? Are you going to... I know in HeroClix right now, the thing to do is to play people at their lowest point value.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm playing Beta at 60 points for him to just get shot off of that super quickly.
No. He's 100 points for sure.
Yeah. I think
all day, every day. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not crazy. Beta Ray Bill is one of my favorite characters in Marvel. When I grew up reading Thor during this run that he first premiered in, Walt Simonson, the creator of Beta Ray, is one of my favorite artists. So I love anytime I have every version of Beta Ray Bill. I can't wait to play this one. But that trait alone takes the wind out of so many pieces. Oh, yeah. No cosmic is like, that's crazy, because it makes everyone vulnerable. And the reason being is because at one point in time, I'm not going to do Scott Porter 100%, but the reason behind this trait is he was actually starving Galactus. So he would go to the planets that Galactus wanted to eat, and he would destroy them. So Galactus was starving, and it was such a great story. So I absolutely love this beta ray build. I really love it.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to make all those cosmic characters vulnerable. They're going to be vulnerable to outwit, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the team builds around this.
Well, and
I'm
they're not going
excited
to
for
get
it,
their willpower rolls,
and that as
That's
well.
it, too.
Yeah,
No
right? That makes a
willpower.
big difference.
Because we've all
So,
played that game where that cosmic character is double tokened, and they roll that 5 or 6, and you're like, I needed you to not. We've all faced Prime Colossus at least once, where he rolls that 5 or 6 when he's
yeah.
double tokened. We're like, can we just get a break from you for a second?
can you stop
Absolutely.
mauling me and then hitting me for 5 damage?
Great.
No, for sure. And I like that trait, that I say thee nay, as well.
When a friendly character would be hit by an opposing character within range and line of fire, you may remove an equipment equipped to Beta Ray Bill from the game. If you do that, friendly character evades the attack, and Beta Ray Bill deals the attacker 1 penetrating damage. Okay.
I feel like there's like in constructed, not in sealed, but in constructed,
Yeah.
there's people that can assign equipment to your characters and things like that. So you could partner that up
So you
and
could
just keep
yeah,
giving him equipment so that he
sure.
keeps taking it out of the game. Now,
Interesting.
removed from the game, I think means scored though. So you would be scoring that equipment, but most equipment is. I know equipment in this set is more expensive, but there's a lot of equipment out there that's like only 5 or 10 points, right?
Right.
So a cool thing that might happen, right? This actually might happen. I don't know how this is going to work, but it's 2 things, right? So we're I'm just going to assume that Beta comes with his object, which will be Stormbreaker. I'm just going to assume that, right? Okay, but he also can get Mjolnir for free. Okay, and Mjolnir says, on top of all the things that Mjolnir does, which is Giant Reach 3, sees through characters, Quake and Pulse Wave, which is amazing on its own, which is why it's 20 points. But it also says if this character has one of Mjolnir's qualifying names, Beta Ray Bill is the first name in that qualifying name, Mjolnir can't be unequipped, destroyed, or removed from the game by opposing effects. Now, that doesn't work because that's his effect that's doing it, right? But there is in sealed a possibility. I don't know how this is going to interact, but the one shot, which is called To Me, My Hammer. When a friendly equipment is unequipped after resolution, you may equip it to a friendly character that is not equipped. If a friendly equipment will be removed from the game, you may choose that it isn't. If you do, after resolution, you may equip it to a friendly character. So Beta Ray Bill can sacrifice in the right stance. He can sacrifice his hammer to save you and give you the hammer. He can do an Avengers Endgame where he's like, "Oh, you take the little one and throw you a hammer." So
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Great combo there, for sure.
So, like, what do y'all think about this Prime Namor?
Oh yeah, I've been waiting to get to him.
So I'm a fan of Namor. So both versions of Namor, realistically, I love, right? So before we go to the Prime, the normal version of Namor, him being in water again, with someone like Jocelyn who loves that Poseidon, who loves maybe like putting water, he can reduce penetrating damage. So for 70 points, not only can you not see him, but if he's standing in water, which you would want to do that. Even the new map that came out with the Black Panther set has a big pool of water on one of the sides of it, right? So if he's standing in that water, he can reduce penetrating, which, again, if we roll that 5 or 6, that's amazing. But him also being able to do that whole switch thing over to another dial. The reason I love this is because it's his trait says, oh, that fool told me all about their plan. When an opposing character within 4 squares, no line of fire, just 4 squares, hits, oh my gosh, or uses Perplex or Outwit, after resolutions, roll a d6, 5 through 6, once per game, turn Namor to click 7, and equip him with the Cosmic Cube from outside of the game.
Wow.
So
and that is an instruction. That is not you may, right?
It
happens.
It happens. It happens. So when somebody hits within 4, roll that d6. So again, you can get Namor all the way down to click number 5, and then all of a sudden you can, or you could essentially get him to click number 5, and then after that attack resolves, he could roll that 5 or 6, and then go to click 7, which is hypersonic, 7 movement, 12 attack, 19 defense, 5 damage, with an attack power that gives him Quake and Super Strength, and when he destroys terrain after resolutions, generate a water terrain marker in each square the destroyed terrain last occupied. So when he quakes and destroys all the stuff next to him, all of it turns into water now.
Debris.
Oh my
Amazing.
goodness! Like it's for 70 points. This is a 70-point figure. I cannot wait to, and he has Latveria and Doom TA. I'm a huge Doctor Doom fan, but that Latveria allows him to just be with Doom regardless of ruler or not. But the Doom TA Supervillain Team Up was a book that him and Doctor Doom had together, and I cannot wait to play them together. But on to this Prime now. This Prime. We haven't seen a Prime that's 200 points in I don't know when. What do y'all think about this Prime Namor?
Well, there's a dolphin involved, so I like it.
Yes. Oh, he makes everyone a dolphin. He makes friendly characters have dolphin. And that's not adjacency. That's not within 4. It's just called, hey, you're friendly, you're flipper now. Let's go.
Yeah. That's why I liked the Deadpool duck, the Deadpool with the duckies from X of Swords.
Yeah.
Right, but it was adjacent characters. Also played him in Provincials. But if they already have Dolphin and they occupy water terrain, lines of fire drawn to them are blocked. So that's it. You can't.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're adjacent, that's fine. Non-adjacent characters, it says non-adjacent. But you just blocked. You just it's not at the within 4. It's not hindered. It's not whatever. It's just blocked. Just
blocked. You can't see me. Sorry. I know you're super close, but no, you it's blocked. Line of fire is blocked. Is that? And it says protected pulse wave, which means you can't pulse wave him.
Right.
Unless you are adjacent to him, which is huge.
Yep.
That's huge. Because that might be the only way that you can realistically get around some of his powers without putting whoever your outwitter is up for grabs. At the beginning of his turn, he also generates 2 of those Sea Blade bystanders, which have charged blades and exploit weakness.
And that's just an instruction. There's no power action, nothing. He just generates them.
He just does it.
If they go down, he makes 2 more in the next turn. Amazing.
That's crazy.
And they have exploit blades.
Yeah.
Exploit blades.
Exploit
charge blades. Exploit.
That's.
I think this just became my number 1 want in the set.
Oh yeah, this is the type of bystander I like to see is blades exploit.
I mean, it's great. It's great, and the 18 defense too. Like that's the thing. That's also like the kind of like, oh, not only can I like potentially deal you 8 damage on a critical hit with my blades and knock you back and all that type of stuff and roll a 6, but also I have an 18 defense. I don't have like a 16 or a 17. I have an 18, which is a good defense. That's absolutely amazing. Another thing about that Namor is his attack power. When he makes a close attack, opposing characters within 4 squares occupying water terrain are considered adjacent to him, which is insane based on also the second half of or the top half of his Wear the Crown trait, which is clear terrain on the lowest elevation level is water terrain. So if you pick a map, say like Bloodstone Maze, which is popular, the whole map is water. Everything besides the blocking and the actual hindering terrain is all water terrain. Huh?
That's an insane figure.
Oh my god. So that gives him a 13 square swing on a 16 square map. Think about that. 13 square swing. 12-4. That's amazing.
Now,
that's absolutely.
Do we know if every Namor pack comes with the serpent crown in it?
We don't know.
No, we don't know yet.
based on what we saw, how it's packaged, I can only assume that whatever object is supposed to go with them is going to come with them too.
Okay.
I can't see. I think that would just be a bad look on WizKids to say, "Oh, hey, you got Namor, but you didn't get the Serpent Crown."
Right.
You
Let's
know,
take a
it
look at the
just it.
Serpent Crown.
Oh my gosh, it's
Number
ugh.
8008 S008 in the set.
Oh,
Qualifying
gee.
name is Namor, so you get to put this on Namor for free, which is
Either
amazing.
of the Namors for free too, which
Yeah.
is amazing. Either of them,
And,
any of
and
them, as a matter of fact.
and the effect is mind control and willpower. When this character uses mind control, a hit character may be given a close or range action as free instead of making an attack. Now,
Amazing.
Hello,
with
Pulse Wave.
yeah, with Namor, he can make a close attack to an opposing character within 4 squares. That's not even line of fire, so he could mind control people within 4.
From 4 squares.
It's pretty
Yep.
amazing. Yeah.
And it gives them
Wow.
willpower, which we were just talking about. You know, Beta takes that willpower away from the cosmic characters, but the crown gives him willpower. And on a dial like that with a 200-point piece, you want to keep going as much as possible so you don't get out actioned. So, also, that this Prime Namor is a wild card too. So, with all of the good team abilities that he can get Avengers, he can get Minions of Doom. Him plus Minions of Doom is filthy, because that means essentially he could almost every turn, almost in a perfect world, make it so that he's going and he's KO and stuff almost every turn. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And I like that he's only 200 points, so you can't say, "No, I'm just gonna play him at this." The prime slot is
You
so
have to
congested
commit.
with, so you have to commit, which I love. That
Yeah.
I love it. But the prime slot has so many good pieces to choose from. But this guy really leapt up to the top 3 pieces. If in my humble opinion, I think he's easily one of the top 3 primes that you can choose from in the game right now when he drops next year.
3 stop clicks.
Ugh.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep. Invincible. on
3
each
stop clicks. And he does not share a keyword with Mern.
So Mern can't see him. Mern can't see him.
So we don't have to worry about the not the blocked line of fire. I'm sure there's probably some way you could make it share a keyword with Mern if you did some creative keywording, but nothing easy.
Yeah.
Nothing off top of mind.
Yeah.
So when you get into competitive, it's definitely a consideration.
Yeah.
Right?
No, he's great.
Yeah, for sure. Those Seablade bystanders and the crown and my gosh, all of the things.
Now go ahead. What were y'all gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say. So, what other figures stand out to you?
So we were talking about Namor and we're talking about supervillain team up. I have to talk about his buddy and pal, Dr. Doom.
Okay, number
Dr.
43.
Dr. Doom has a special place in my heart because I am a fan of Dr. Doom is my favorite villain. He's my favorite fictional villain of everything. Dr. Doom is the only human in the Marvel Universe to have ever taken the power cosmic multiple times from different characters. So I absolutely love Dr. Doom. He has great keywords: armor, mystical, ruler, scientist, warrior. That allows, keyword cheating and just building great teams. He has mystics and a Doom team ability. Doom team ability with wild cards is absolutely amazing, because what the Doom team ability does, for anyone who doesn't know, is when this character, anyone using the Doom TA, the Means of Doom team ability, when this character KOs a standard opposing character after resolutions, heal 1 click on a friendly character using this team ability. Not that they have to have it printed on their dial, but using. So your wild cards can also utilize this. The thing about this again is my favorite piece in the set, because it plays like the Dr. Doom that I want. His first trait, Unparalleled Ego, gives him access to leadership and mastermind, his whole dial, which I love, because he is 225 points top dial, which is hefty. It's very hefty. And when he uses mastermind, friendly characters within 4 that have the Doom TA. Now this makes it different. It says that have, not can use, but they have to have the Doom print or the Doom TA printed on them, are considered adjacent to him, which is great, because at the beginning of his turn he makes Doom bystander, which is he can generate one next to him, and they have the Doom team ability. So the other thing that gives him access to his second trait gives him access to 3 Darkhold one shots without paying the cost. You can't add any other one shots otherwise, which is fine, good and dandy. But even if he didn't have that, I wouldn't care. But his defensive, he has 2 stop clicks that give him impervious and reduce penetrating damage. We all love reducing penetrating damage. That means I don't care about mystics. You can't pulse wave me because it's a stop click, so you can't pulse wave me off of it. I can reduce penetrating, and I can hit all the mystics I want without taking any kind of damage on it. I absolutely love that. And his damage power, the reading the dark hole through a Doombot, which is so thematic because he was like, that's what he did. He fought Cthon and he read the dark hole. He got around the caveat of going insane when you read the dark hole by reading it through a Doombot because he's Doctor Doom and he's smart. He has outwit and prob, which you want on you want prob and ability to shut off a power on a piece that costs this much. And if a friendly one shot was used this turn, Doctor Doom may count range and draw lines of fire. He has 2 bolts as well from friendly characters named Doombot. So you can generate a Doombot, send it out. The Doombot itself has sidestep with 6 movement. So you can generate it 1 in front of you, send it out 6 squares, sidestep it up 2. Now you've essentially moved it 9 squares across the map. And then now Doom can shoot 6 squares from that 9, which equals 15, which means your opponent cannot come out of their starting area without Doom being able to shoot at you, outwit you, and shoot at you from that far away. That's absolutely bonkers to me. I love it, love it, love it. And even if you play him at 75 points, he doesn't start off as beefy, but the stop click, along with the dial that leads up there that gives him steal energy, along with Doom team ability. So if he steals energy and hits you for 4 damage, because he has 3 damage close combat expert, if he does that, hits you for 4, KOs you, not only does he steal energy, but he gets also Doom TA too. So that's 2 clicks of healing in 1 action. I love, 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 love this piece. What do y'all think?
Go ahead, Rob.
Okay, I was waiting for you to go. Well, it's interesting when I saw Scott Porter unbox this one. I saw that 225 point line, and I started wondering how many people are going to play it at 225. That's a lot of points if you're playing a 300 modern build, right? So for the extra, so many, like 150 points, is it worth those 4 extra clicks? I'm not sure it is. I like him at 75.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would play him at 225. I'd have to be convinced about that. Also, he's outwittable, I believe, right? I don't see anything on here. He's not cosmic, so he could be outwitted. So I think 75 points, you hold him, you keep him back, you generate your Doom bots to send them out and do all your evil doings and have a team around him, to play.
And you still get to put your 3 Darkhold one shots on your sideline without paying their costs, and they don't count against your sideline limit. Mm-hmm. But if you do that, you can't otherwise add one shots to your sideline during forced construction. So you are limited to those 3 Darkholds. So I'm torn on this because I think 225 is a lot in a 300 modern game.
Yeah.
Or 300 anything game.
Especially when he's susceptible to outwit, right? That's a lot.
But I feel like his survivability at 225 is a lot better than at 75. Because if you start him at 75, like we've seen figures in this set that are doing 4 and 5 damage and they're penetrating or exploiting, right? So, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 5 clicks to the stop click, which you could probably take him out in a single turn.
Yeah.
With a couple of good, with 2 or 3 good attacks, depending on how many empowers and enhancements and exploiting blades rolls, etc. I think at 75 points, it's probably doable to KO Doom in 2 attacks. You hit him to stop, and then you hit him once more, and he's gone.
You got to outwit him first, because remember he has
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. But it's doable, right?
It is doable.
I think his survivability at 225 is a lot higher. So yeah, it's and then you know at that 225 you get the outwit and the prob with the 4 damage and the penetrating and all of those fun things. Um, so yeah, I think it's a super cool figure. I'm glad that it's not cosmic, as someone who also looks for cosmic on when I'm building, but I think it's interesting that it's not cosmic, and I think it's good that they're
Yeah.
making some of these higher powered figures without the cosmic TA, so that you know we all have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's interesting. I would definitely play it if it came if it came across my my booster. So,
Word.
but
I
maybe
do like
this
the
is a
Doom
good.
bots. Sorry, I was
Sorry,
going
go
to say,
ahead.
I do like the Doom bots as well because they have range combat expert with energy explosion. I think that looks like
Pretty
fun.
nice.
Yeah,
11-3 is nice.
yeah,
And just like Namor, he makes them for free. Essentially a 6 range because they have sidestep, so they can get made and then sidestep. I also love that they fly, so they
yeah.
can get made, and then both of them can attack essentially, and they can just scoop Doom out of the way if they need to, get him out of danger. I absolutely love that.
I
Absolutely.
think it's a missed opportunity that the Doombots don't have the same stats and powers
Let
as.
me tell you, I'm waiting for that, Jocelyn. I'm waiting for that day where the Doombots have the same, where they just have all question marks and they have the same stats and powers as Doctor Doom. So you think that you are fighting Doctor Doom. OMG, I agree with you 1000%.
So that actually wasn't where I was going. I was going to go Doombots as a Fantastic Four set, just because then you could use them as instead of using like little bystander tokens, you could use the figures from a previous set.
Oh, right.
So the picture that they have on the card is from the Guardians of the Galaxy set from back in the day that had Doctor Doom and had Doombots in them. I'm going to be using those. I don't like just using like the tokens. I like using physical representation, like figures on everything. So I'm going to be using those as my actual Doombots, or just Doombots from the Fantastic Four. But yes, that
Yeah,
too.
the Doombots from the Fantastic Four have different stats and different abilities, but yeah, but I do agree also with what you said about the Doombot having the same, because then how do you fighting? I like that too.
Yeah.
So there's a piece of equipment I wanted to talk about, and I know
Yes.
Antonio, in your review on your YouTube page, um, you didn't really have great things to say about the Crimson Gem.
No.
However, I have a different opinion about this. So tell me what you
Let's
think
hear
about
it.
it.
Let's hear it.
Oh, you want to hear mine first? Okay.
I want to hear yours first. I want to hear yours first.
So when we were building for the Rock event, 400 point silver,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was looking. Obviously, we were building to defend against Darkseid, who, the whole idea is to generate blocking terrain markers. And I said, I need characters that can destroy blocking terrain. And
Mm-hmm.
I ended up playing a wrecker with his 3 bystander friends that can destroy blocking, and it worked
Mm-hmm.
great. But the question I asked Jocelyn when I was team building, I said, is there some piece of equipment that can grant improved movement destroys blocking? And it didn't exist until now. And here we have the Crimson Gem. It says improved movement destroys blocking. It grants super strength, so you can pick things up and smash with them. And also, this thing is safeguarding against mind control, all for 10 points. I think this is an amazing piece. I love this piece right here. So tell me what you think.
Jocelyn, what do you? Here we go. Jocelyn, what do you think about it? I do not have nice things to say about it, so I would love to hear what you have to say about it first, please.
So I hadn't seen this yet. So this is
Mm-hmm.
the first that I'm looking at it. So it looks like the qualifying names here are Colossus, Juggerduck, and Juggerduck and Juggernaut, which is kind of cool. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. I don't know that it's the first piece of equipment I would reach for 10 points, but I do think there's a corner case for it in certain builds. And to Rob's point, like if you're going after something specific, like if you have to defend against something specific, then maybe that might be the place to go. I think it's interesting to be able to give someone super strength with a piece of equipment. I like that kind of
Yeah.
concept. And I have not heard what you said, Antonio, because I did not have a chance to watch your reviews of the Scott Porter unboxing. So I would love to hear what you think.
How dare you? So, um,
That's what I said.
how
How
dare you?
dare you?
How dare you, John? Charlatan, false. Okay, no. The long and short of it is, I am a fan of comics, so I want things to be as comic accurate as they kind of can be, right? So when I think about something that makes you the Juggernaut isn't just a guy that can just run through walls. The Juggernaut also becoming the Juggernaut also makes you strong. It makes you very strong, very very strong. Um, we some people that I've talked to have said, "Oh, well, Antonio, um, there's no way that they can make this the way that that you want them to, because it it would cost too much and blah 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 blah." And to that I say, we have the 20 point uh we have the 20 point, what's that called, cosmic or not, the Yaka arrows are 20 points. Mjolnir in this set are 20 points, so it's doable. It's very doable.
Okay.
I wish this gave you something else. The Juggernaut to me just isn't a guy that can, pick up a thing and run through a wall. It also gives you like a level of durability, a level of strength. Um, I would have loved to, like, Bucky's arm gave us super senses and close combat expert for less points than this. Most people are going to reach for that when they're thinking about um, putting something on their team. I'm never going to reach for this, and that's unfortunate to me, because I loved the first Crimson Gem that we got, the first iteration of the Crimson Gem that we got in the game. I love it and would still play it. I would play that over this any day of the week. Now, based on what Rob said, I fully understand why this will see play, because having super strength is very important. Destroying blocking terrain is very important in the game that we have right now. Knowing that we're going to go into Smash and Destroy next year, and terrain is supposed to play a huge role. Knowing that we're getting another Juggernaut in that set, I cannot wait to see where this lands. But for me, as it stands, the pieces that I generally build with and what I wanted this to do, because I play the House of X Juggernaut all the time, and I've won 400 events with that Juggernaut from House of X, who is amazing. Um, and he does all these things. He does the super strength. He does the destroy stuff. That's great. But it's just the thematic thing that makes me upset. If you would have said, if you took the name Crimson Gem, I think that's what is making me not enjoy it so much, is because the name that's on it. It's the Crimson Gem. If it was named anything else, if it was named like
Okay.
Heavy Shield, if it was like, or Strength Potion or something like that, or Amulet of Strength, I would be like, oh, this is great. I like this. This is fantastic. But when you name it the Crimson Gem, knowing what Colossus and Juggernaut have been in the game and what those characters represent, I do not like it for what it's supposed to represent. I think that's my biggest hang up with it. It's just the comic accuracy of it.
Interesting. Okay. I understand. Yeah, but I see what you're saying. As a game piece, though, there is a lot. I think there's a lot of value to it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I
even
can
even
I
for
can
the
say for sure.
safeguard mind control alone, I mean, I think there's good protection there. But yeah, I see what you're
One.
saying thematically. I didn't look at it from that angle, so that's interesting.
I feel like until Colossus Prime rotates, Safeguard Mind Control doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean, and I was gonna say that, Jocelyn. I'm glad you
Yeah,
said
true enough.
And I and
But
I love me some Colossus Prime,
there,
but
there's a
yeah.
lot of oppressive maps out there too, where there's just a lot of blocking and things like that. So I think putting this on a character to open up those, a lot of that blocking terrain it could be of great use, of course, right?
Yeah,
the
I
little.
agree.
Go ahead, Jocelyn. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it wasn't that long ago we were saying a not great power, and now it's something that we're looking for and trying to build with.
They definitely shifted. There was a conscious shift in dial construction to make super strength viable for the game, especially when you start adding terrain and making it, you can kind of warp the map around a little bit. And I mean, even the newest map that we just got out in Black Panther, the Little Mogadishu, has tons of blocking. So the Blood Maze map has tons of blocking. So being able to kind of just hide and run through and move and make a path for your friends or yourself through the blocking, it definitely, I agree, Rob, it definitely has its uses for sure, but just thematically it's just not for me, though. It's just not for me thematically, that's all. Now, what do y'all think about the Bloodstone? Talking about objects, what do you think about the Bloodstone? Because that is an object that I think we are going to see a ton of.
Okay, let's take a look at the Bloodstone.
The Bloodstone, the qualifying names are Elsa Bloodstone and Ulysses Bloodstone, who is in this set. Mm-hmm. But the Bloodstone itself gives you regeneration, and when an opposing character would heal, instead they heal 1 click less. Now, like knowing how prevalent Starro is, the Black Lanterns, Black Lantern Swamp Thing is a thing that people are trying to make happen, and just look at what I was just talking about with Doom. With his Doom healing and everything like that, he only heals 1 click. So healing 1 click less means you heal 0.
0.
So knowing that this can literally almost prevent the steel energy out of the door. Your steel energy means nothing now. Some of these traits that, when you roll a D6, it's the Wolverine squad trait. When they roll a 5 or 6, heal them 1. Now you heal nothing. And Weapon X is a prevalent figure in Modern. So knowing that this piece is going to be out there, I foresee this being probably one, if not the most looked at, easily one of the top 3 of the objects that we have in this set that are going to be used in the game for the next 2 years, for sure. I can just see it.
Well, that, and I think the universal weapon is going to be in a lot of teams.
How can it? So good. Oh, it's so good.
Question about this Bloodstone that I just popped into my head. It says when an opposing character would heal, instead heal 1 click. I'm trying to think of those figures that came out recently. I'm not sure if it was in the Deadpool set, where some of them had a special power where when you would attack, you would click the dial 1 extra time, I think, and if it KOs it.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's not a heal. If it doesn't KO it, it just comes back. So that's not a heal, right?
No, it's not a heal.
Right. Okay. I was just
no. So what you're talking about, that we got that first in the Undead set all the way back. The Grim Reaper and Death will do that, where when they hit somebody, you dealt somebody 1 unavoidable damage, and if they weren't KO'd, you healed them 1 click. Now, that's the wording based on the powers that you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. So one of the most recent figures that we had seen, like you said, was in I think the Deadpool set, but also Harley Quinn from the Notorious, the super rare Harley Quinn, does the same thing, which is when she hits or when friendly characters hit, you deal 1 unavoidable, and if not, if they aren't KO'd, then you heal them back 1. So I've seen this combo, which you're talking about, but it consisted with Elsa Bloodstone. Now, this is like having Elsa Bloodstone without having to hamper all the healing on your team as well, because Elsa hampers all healing besides herself.
So how does this interaction? It does say heal. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Harley Quinn.
Yeah. So you wouldn't heal them.
You wouldn't.
They would die.
Them. Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Okay, I love it.
I'm telling you, we are going to see this thing. OMG, we're going to see it. We're going to see it.
Amazing. So you mentioned the universal. Sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say, Antonio?
No. I was saying I can't wait.
Yeah. So Jocelyn, you mentioned the universal weapon. Did you want to talk about that one?
Sure. There's not a lot to say. You just get to pick a power.
Yeah.
So, the universal weapon is 10 points. The qualifying keyword is Kree, so anyone with Kree as a keyword will get it for free, but anyone else can just pay 10 points to, at the beginning of your turn, choose a standard attack power to use next turn. So, would you like Pulse Wave? Would you like Quake? Would you like...
Precision Strike?
Yeah, exactly.
I
Like,
mean,
Oh, you're
so,
hurt? Would you like steal energy? Oh, hey.
yeah,
but
it's
I
great.
feel like Pulse Wave is going to be a very big pick on that one.
Yeah,
Pulse Wave is going to be able to deal with those Colossuses that we were talking about we love so much. Oh, you got 20 defense and you got Imperv that does stuff? No, you don't now. I'm just going to swing, and if I hit, then take some damage. No rolling out of it. I can't wait to play this. This is the number one piece. I think this is going to be the number one weapon for the next 2 years. 1,000%.
yeah. We're
Yeah.
gonna see a lot of it for sure. So what about one shots? Are there? We talked about "To Me My Hammer," but are there any other one shots that catch your attention?
Rivalry.
Rivalry.
OMG. Rivalry. OMG. Rivalry is going to
Okay.
be the bane of the existence of all HeroClix players until it retires. Rivalry says when a friendly character attacks a single target that shares a keyword, which is very important, with them, you may choose not to roll the attack roll. If you do, the attack becomes a hit.
Yep.
That gets around super senses. That gets around a high defense. That gets around, reducing penetrating. Or not reducing penetrating, but it's just called I hit you. That's insane. So this is going to be on, and it's only 5 points. Who can't make room for 5 points to
Yeah.
put on a team to make sure that your main attacker hits whoever it is that they want? Let's be honest about it. HeroClix players generally play the same, maybe 10 keywords.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's easy to find look. All the figures that we've talked about either have cosmic, deity, ruler, maybe warrior, all those keywords that we share generally. So I thank God that this doesn't come in a booster, so it can ruin sealed. But this does come in the play at home kit, which I think will, if you haven't pre-ordered it, buy it now so it doesn't sell out, so you can make sure you get it, because that's the only way to get it is the play at home kit. So yeah.
Interesting. Let's talk about
So,
the interaction on this one, though. So it says when a friendly character attacks a single target. Now, you are choosing to attack. If that character has shape change, I believe it would still get a shape change roll. Is that correct?
Yes.
yes.
Yes. You still get shape change.
Okay. So, but obviously, if it fails, then you can make it a hit, right? So amazing.
I think
It's good.
so. A lot of people are, from what I've heard, a little upset by this one shot.
Oh yeah.
But what I want to say about this is it's one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You only get to do this once. I think there's something in set that allows you to turn a one shot back up. I don't remember if it was one of these ones or if it's what different type.
No, it is all of the gems and it's all of the dark hold ones are the only ones that you can return back for right now.
Yeah, that we know of.
That we know.
Yeah, so this is one turn, one automatic hit. Yes, that can be a lot, right? But it's one. It's once. It's not the whole game. I just spent months playing with 300-point Loki, which automatically hits his mind control every single time and prevents you from using free actions. So, I get it that 300-point Loki from the iconic set is not necessarily the figure that everyone's playing with. But I think it's super cool that this exists in the game. I think, yes, can it be exploited? Absolutely. But as long as it can only be used once, and all one shots we know are unique, so you can't put multiples of the same one on your sideline, one attack is for sure going to hit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, what was
everyone gets a hit.
What you mentioned is the Thanos chase number 40. When Thanos clears action tokens, you may turn a friendly face down, one shot, face up. So that's the one. Yeah. So
Doctor Strange also does it too. Doctor Strange
okay.
number 44. He also has the mastering the page of madness. He has that where during force construction you may add 3 dark hole one shots. And that whole thing that Doom does, but then the last line of that trait says if Doctor Strange was dealt damage by one shot this turn, he may. Oh no! It's the damage power he has. The last line of his damage power says when an opposing character within range uses outwit or perplex, no line of fire, just within range, which is 5, you may turn a friendly face down dark hold one shot face up. and he is
It
a
has to be,
chase.
it has to be a Darkhold one shot.
Yeah, it has to be a
And,
Darkhold one shot.
and
right.
rivalry is or is
It's
not
not.
a
It's not.
Darkhold.
It is
Yeah.
not. Thank
Yeah.
the Lord. Oh my
But
gosh.
the Thanos one, does the Thanos have a qualifier on that one, Rob?
Yes, it's the. I'm sorry.
It has
It has to be the gems. It has to be all the gem ones.
No, it just says a friendly face down one shot.
No.
Yeah, when
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
unless they need
his does say that, but if you add the Infinity Gem one shots to your sideline,
it says
no,
you
it
add
doesn't
up
say
to 6.
that. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have the qualification. So, but you, in order to do that, you have to play the 300 point Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you either play the 300 point Thanos with the gems and possibly rivalry,
Mm-hmm.
or you play a whole bunch of figures, right? So like there's a trade-off there. So yes, Thanos might be able to do this multiple times, but I feel like, errata is coming. Or
Yeah.
some kind of clarification.
Because the Loki chase, he has a trait that says during force construction, Loki costs 30 points for each gem token you've given him, minimum 1, maximum 6. For each gem given token given, you may add an infinity gem one shot to your sideline without paying its cost. When Loki takes damage from an opposing effect or knockback, after resolutions, remove a gem token from him. But he has a so that specifically talks about the infinity gem one shots.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see where it goes. But if they just took Thanos and errated him to say Infinity Gem one shot,
Yeah.
then there's no problem.
Then there's no problem. Yeah, because
Right?
yeah. Well, you wouldn't be able to play him realistically. I don't think they're gonna errata him now that I'm thinking about it, because you can't play him even with the way Silver is constructed right now. He only gets the Infinity Gems for free without paying the cost, and if you play him at 300, you can't play the one shot because it's still
Modern. Yeah.
So maybe when the time comes, they'll errata him, maybe just to make sure that he can't be played in Silver going forward. But for right now, he's airtight because he's 300 points.
Yeah. I think that the concept of one shots is really interesting. I like that they're all unique. I like that you can only use them once, aside from some very corner cases. I was not around in the age of ID cards, sort of equating these back to ID cards, but I don't know that we're talking about the same thing, right? Because it's just once.
It's a tricky thing, because at the ID cards were so prevalent because they were so powerful. When we talk about that one shot, we all know that all it takes sometimes is one attack for the snowball to get going, and then the game is completely different, And generally we build pieces and we play pieces that are either hard to hit or hard to really land damage on. And knowing that you can just say, hey, I went up to you, hey, Thanos, I know you got a 20 defense, Darkseid, Colossus, I know you got a 20 defense, I hit you. I'm not rolling dice. I hit you now. And now with the potency of the pieces that we have, trick arrows say, all right, well, I hit you, so now you turn off everything because I use Imp Metal on you. So now you don't have your team ability, and you use stop clicks or anything like that. So now I can just, So while I am glad, I agree with you, Jocelyn, that I'm glad that the one shots are constructed the way they are. I think rivalry is bad for the game. I think. Same for 5 points. I get to essentially just hit you for nothing, because it doesn't take a power action to activate. It doesn't take a free action, so it's you can't Beetlejuice around it. There's nothing right now that strips you of sideline stuff. Just saying, I can just run up to you with whatever I got. Let's just say Ares is on the field. All right, well, or not. It doesn't work with Ares, thankfully, because it says one target. But just saying, one target being able to hurt somebody and do whatever this game allows that character to do is super powerful. And I don't think overall it's good for the game. I really wish WizKids stopped doing these things that make it so that people don't they take the strategy away. And I think rivalry takes the strategy away from the game. And that's the thing I love the most about the game is the strategy. Before we started recording, we were talking about dice rolling and stuff like that. Dice rolling is so pivotal in this game, and when you take that away for something that can be super huge, again, now dark side and dark side is 300 points because he has a 20 defense up top. Now saying that your 20 defense doesn't mean anything, and I can just hit you with whatever I got. That's huge. Super sword now just says, "Hey, dark side, I came over to you. And now I'm going to charge you, and I have this object or this terrain in my hand. Take 8 damage now. And now you have to roll your impervious now. If you don't roll your impervious now, and then now after that, now I get to swing on you again, but you don't have a 20 defense anymore. Now it's going to be lower. That's super huge. That's just big.
Yeah, no, for sure. I hear you. I think there's, pluses and minuses, but I think we'll see how much it plays. But to your point, 5 points is not a lot. It's everybody can find 5 points on their build, but the access to the one-shot rivalry in particular, being in the play at home kit means anybody can have it for whatever, $20, right?
Everybody will have it. That thing's gonna. Anyone listening, if you haven't pre-ordered it, get it now before it sells out and the WizKids say they don't have it, or before they pull a beholder and say, "Oh no, it's not in there anymore. We removed it.
Yeah.
We removed it."
This might be one, Rob, where we have to get 2 play at home kits.
Yeah, we might have to. Yeah,
y'all need both of y'all play competitively in a sense. Y'all both need access to it 1,000%. You need to have it.
Yep.
I need y'all to. Not only do I need y'all to have it, I need y'all to play and build. I need y'all to build teams and then play it against each other while using it on
100% done.
Coming soon. Yeah,
that's what I
for
need.
Sure.
Yeah.
Johnson's like, dice? What dice? Rivalry. You're it.
Rivalry.
When I was playing that Loki in practice for provincials, sometimes I would forget and I would still roll my attack roll. I'm like, wait, I don't need to do that. I automatically
hit. No.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, Josh, for using it. Kudos to you for using that Loki, though. I only want that iconic simply for the Loki. I don't want anything else in there. I love mind control, and mind control for free without rolling dice. Yes, please.
I haven't tried any of the other figures in that set, but I just thought that was such a cool idea with Loki. It totally makes sense thematically of his powers of mind control, that he could just automatically take you. And then from there, you still have to roll dice. You still have to roll on your other attack and whatever else happens, right? But
do you have the liar ring by chance?
I don't.
Oh, see, you got to play him with liar, so he can mind control from 10 squares away for free. Yeah. Seeing through everything from 10.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
I had him equipped with the Stones of Merlin in my silver build because that gave him invincible. Now, what I didn't realize at the time is he has impervious, so giving him the stones allows him to reduce penetrating and still roll impervious, which I did not do, and that could have made my tournament completely different had that happened.
Oh snap!
But that's okay. Yeah. It was still a lot of fun, and I had a great time. But and I reconsidered playing him again because I played them in Quebec provincials, but for Ontario I decided to go with the Poseidon team. So
do you have just for the future? Do you have super rare Daredevil from War of Realms?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look.
He has the sword. It's Daredevil with the sword, and he's cosmic energy. Okay.
We didn't get that one. Yeah.
When I was building around this before he came out to possibly play at a states event, and I was gonna play him with the liar ring, and I think with spectral ring, just so when he does attack, he gets around stuff. But Daredevil gives him super senses as well. So I think, and he has shape change regularly, right? Doesn't he have shape? So he has shape change regularly, And then I was going to give him, Daredevil gives him super senses, and Daredevil also has prob within 8 squares, no line of fire.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. That's I don't have that one, but that would have been a cool build.
Yeah,
I was hoping to get that one.
Then, yeah, he was one of those. I'm a sucker for variations. Whenever you give me a variation of a character I love, I gotta have it. So I mean, this collector's trove is full of variations of characters that we haven't, that we know and we've seen. We got a whole bunch of. So I gotta have a bunch of these pieces in this set, and I can't wait to see overall what this does. But that Loki's been getting his due because the chase Loki from Black Panther is my favorite chase from that set because I love mind control and I love evasion and rolling shape change and then being like, oh, you can't outwit it, and I roll shape change and now I get to choose who you hit. Yes, please. Like you said, Jocelyn, it's so thematic for who Loki is. It's
Mhm.
super thematic.
Yeah. Number 58 from the Black Panther set, Loki.
Maybe when our
Absolutely.
product finally comes in, we'll get one.
Yeah. We haven't had any
I hope.
access. Well, we've did our sealed events and that's about it. But
I
we
mean,
have
you
not
pulled
gotten our books
Hadari,
yet.
so you're winning. You're winning already,
I'm
Jocelyn.
winning
You're
for
winning.
sure,
You're
100%.
winning. You're winning the chase lottery in that. But
Oh
but
yeah.
I absolutely I love that Loki. I love that it's the female version of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Since Loki is a female currently in Marvel Comics right now at this very moment, Loki is a woman. But I love that piece a lot. But that Loki from the Iconics is it's iconic. It's 300 points. I can take you down. Come get it. And if you're not prepared for it, it's gonna smack you up. And I hate
Oh
that
yeah.
Beetlejuice is now something that's free can totally thwart a 300 point piece from being as effective as it was designed. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So yeah, I overall am very excited about Collector's Trove.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be fun to try out this set, right? When it finally gets here.
I can't wait. I hope it
Yeah.
gets to y'all as speedy can be. So based on the figures that we talked about tonight, just on the figures that we talked about tonight, who are you, or even just if we didn't talk about them, which figure are you most excited to play from this set? On day one, which figure you pull your booster, which figure are you hoping, based on what you've seen, are you hoping that you pull out of your booster?
When Rob and I sit down to play our first sealed game for our channel, and he's not going to like this answer, I want to pull Common Thanos. He knows. He's laughing. I can see it. I want to pull Common Thanos and 300 point that baby up.
Cool. Well, hey, I'm hoping I get Namor with the Serpent Crown. That's what I want out of
Mm-hmm.
this set. Yeah, that's a fun piece.
That that is that's a great piece. I as a Doom fan, I can't.
Yep.
I hope that I pull Doom. He is my number one, two, and three one from this set because I love me some Doctor Doom. But I love those pieces that you have, and I love that common Thanos is a common Thanos. And when you look at all of the unboxings, it's been three so far. Um, when you look at them, common Thanos is very prevalent. So just like we were talking about with the rivalry one shot, everyone has access to it, and I can't wait. So so yeah.
It's gonna
Well,
be
thank
pretty
y'all
wild.
for,
It's
for
gonna be
having
pretty
me
wild
on.
in sealed games, isn't it? To see all these guys out here, 300 point Thanos and everything. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you as well, Antonio, for joining us. This has been great.
No, the pleasure is all mine. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for sharing some time with me and your platform with me. I can't wait to see y'all in person again next year.
Absolutely.
And roll some dice against each. And I was glad I was able to play against each one of you at Worlds this past year. And I look forward to talking about some clicks in the future with y'all as well.
Absolutely. We'll do it again for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. So that's all we have for today, right, Jocelyn?
That's all we've got.
Okay.
I
So,
mean, we could talk for hours, but we're
oh, we
not going to.
could. Yeah, we could, but we'll bring this in at under 90 minutes, right? So yeah, thanks again, Antonio, and this has been amazing. And viewers, let us know what you thought in the comments below after you hit like and subscribe, of course. And
Of course.
you can find us in all the following places. We now have a Patreon that you can join. We have Discord. You can send us an email. We have Facebook, Instagram, Threads, BlueSky, and you can find us also over on Twitch. So that's what we have today. Let us know what you thought of this cosmic crossover. Antonio, can you tell us the name of your channel on YouTube?
My YouTube channel is called What Say You.
Perfect.
That is the catchphrase that I always ask. I love to just talk clicks, so feel free to go on over, like, share, subscribe, all those YouTubey things. I would love to talk some clicks with you as well.
Great. Viewers, go check out Antonio over on YouTube. Give him a follow and a like, subscribe. And yeah, let us know what you thought in the comments. And we will see you all next time. And we'll say bye for now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.